Hey everyone, so today we are going to be going over this beautiful Sierra Denali. Sierra Denali has always had a special place in my heart, and I drive the Escalade, I drive the Escalade EXT, and Sierra Denali is right identical to those vehicles, and it is my favorite vehicle. So today we're going to be looking at this 2018 Sierra Denali. It comes in this beautiful pearl white, and I just absolutely love this front end. Favorite part is this grille. This grille is super aggressive. It just screams performance to me for some reason, even though this is not a sports vehicle or anything like that, but you would be surprised. This thing performs like you would expect, like a sports car. This has the 5.3 liter engine in it, producing close to 400 horsepower, but to be honest with you guys, I like the 6.2 much better. This one promises to save gas, but given the weight of this vehicle, you can never efficiently save gas by reducing the size of the engine. So 5.3 I know is an industry leading engine, but the 6.2 is a lot better. So I really recommend getting the 6.2 version rather than the 5.3 version. All right. Moving on to the side profile of the vehicle, my favorite part are these rims over here. These rims, 20-inch rims, fuel brand, and with the BF Goodrich tires. These are really good. All-terrain tires, you're never gonna get stuck anywhere. The other thing, these runner boards. One of my biggest complaints with these running boards are that they're not retractable. Come on, Denali, this is your top of the line vehicle. You should have retractable runner boards that don't break down. Come on, what's going on? Looking at the back of this truck, this thing is just like any other truck, except it's got the backup sensor as well as the backup camera. These two features are really important for any truck, but I would say that this has been coming in the trucks for the last almost 10 years. So this is a regular thing. However, some trucks still don't have it. It's got the tow hitch as well as the plug-ins for the tow. So you have the controller as well as the lights plug-in as well. This one is the age-old GMC truck spare tire access. So you just have to put that rod in, turn it, and then the spare tire comes out. So that is very interesting. Now my favorite feature on this truck is this step right here. Okay, so for me to get on top of this truck is just as easy as this, rather than it just helps me from this 3-inch gap, right? And I know this makes a huge difference because, you know, whenever I'm working out at the gym, I can do that second last jump, but that last jump is only this much bigger, but I can't do it. So, you know, I know this makes a huge difference when you're doing when you're trying to step up on here. So the other best feature on this truck is that as soon as you open it, it comes down nice and smooth. It doesn't just slam down, and it's not as heavy as as your old truck tailgates. One of the things that I'd like to cover in my reviews are the front end condition. So you can take a look. This is what this vehicle looks like with 120,000 kilometers. You have a little bit of rust buildup on the parts. You have the ball joint and the CV shaft, as well as the steering shaft that is right in front of you. And you see that big thing with the spring is that strut. Everything looks decent. However, you know, for a truck of this year, you would think that this is you would not have this much rust, but it is the nature of the steel. You know, that is how it works. So yeah, this is a little bit normal when you see these. You can see that's the CV shaft, and this right here is the steering shaft. There is the strut mount, and it doesn't seem like that there are any other electronics attached with it. The ball joints, they also look pretty good in their nice shape. This is the lower ball joint, and this is the upper ball joint. They look really good. And the rest of it, you know, don't worry about the rust basically, because that is just the nature of the steel. So I've had vehicles that have had this much rust for years, so that is not going to be an issue that much. Another thing that I want to cover is all the rest of it, how that looks at the bottom. It looks really clean. It doesn't like, oh, that's just typical rusting that we see right over there. So that's just normal. Now let's get inside this vehicle. So there's no fancy electronics to get inside the car. So you just have to pull the handle, and there you are. Looking at the side driver trim, you can see everything looks really nice and smooth. We got a little bit of a simulation wood and memory seats and exit button and set. This has been in there for years now. Regular window switches, all the typical functionalities you would expect. We have the left or right mirror adjustment. When this is touched, then it's the left mirror that gets used with this. Then we have the tuck away button as well for this. Turn off the switch for the windows and the child lock and everything like that. That's right here. So this child lock is the new addition that has been added on this panel, which never was before. Typically you would just find that on the back panel right over here, which they have just kind of removed now. So that's no longer there anymore. So if you want to do a child safety lock, then you got to do it right from here. Another thing is that it is equipped with the Bose sound system. Bose sound system has been there forever with these guys, so that's not a surprise. One of the things that I do like is that it has these really nice aggressive mats that will work for pretty much all weather. And look at the tug of these mats. This is just awesome. I love this little tug of the mats that it has on the edges. So you see guys, like if you drop something, and typically you drop something from there to there, and then that leaves a mark on the carpet that starts right over there. No longer, that whole part is all covered with this mat. You see, like what I'm talking about is like that. So that's not going to be part of it anymore. So that's right over there. The second thing that I really like about this vehicle is the quality of the leather on these seats. That is really nice. I really like this quality on the leather. They're double stitched and ventilated seats. They look really amazing, and the switches are right over here. The rest of the instrument cluster right over here. We have the brake controller right here, which is really nice. Right over here, you don't have to go reach down on anything to access the brake controller. It's right here. The button for gain and loss is right over here as well. The next best part is this. Of course, you would expect that in a truck, but it does come with the auto feature as well. So the auto takes care of all of the transferability of the power from the rear wheel to the front wheel. Of course, this will keep it in two wheel. This will keep it in auto. We have 4 high, 4 low, and everything like that. So you just want to keep that on auto most of the time. Then of course we have the light switch right over here, and the dimmer for the lights on the interior. Moving forward, one of the things that I don't like about this truck is this right here. What is this, guys? This is not 2005. It still has the key entry. So I just don't understand what GMC is thinking about this in regards to this. Like, this doesn't make any sense. We have, even though they have done this for the last, I don't know, since 2007, they've had this button on the key fobs right from the factory. So if I am able to do this, then why can't I just get in my vehicle and press a start button instead of putting this key in this old hole that we are so used to since we were you know, looking at our grandpas basically. So I just don't understand. This just doesn't make any sense. So moving on, we'll complain about this. We'll just have to live with this problem. The rest of it is very interesting. We have a nice screen with all the gauges, and these gauges, they look like that they are actual gauges, but they're all on a screen. So that's a great feature. I love it. Moving on to the other buttons, we have the steering wheel control for that screen right there. We can do voice control. We can have we have the hang up button, as well as the 4 directional buttons and the OK button right in the middle. No buttons at the bottom, which is great. On the left hand side, we have the cruise control with the heated steering wheel buttons right here. So that's a great feature. I love the heated steering wheel no matter what car it is, especially being here in Canada. It does, you know, we need it. So there's no questions about it. So this feature, as well as this feature for the heated seats, these are great. It does also come with ventilated seats, which is what you would expect from a Denali anyways. In the center, we have a GMC screen. It does do the normal functionalities. When you press the home, you have audio, phone, projection, navigation if you get the subscription for it, traffic control, OnStar, text, and all of that. Overall, the feel of everything, of all of the material, is really nice. The top is wrapped with leather or simulated leather. The rear view camera is nice. They have added the sunglasses compartment now. So congratulations, GM. Finally, you did it. And then we have something that takes care of the rear view window. So take a look at this. That's the sunroof, and then we have the sliding, which you'll see in the rear view mirror. See, that opens up. So all of these ventilation options are really nice. We have the climate control right over here, as well as the media controls right over here. In regards to the other options that you can equip this vehicle with, this controls the pedals. As you can see, I'm moving it up or down. Then we have the traction control button, which you would turn on or off traction control. Then we have the button for the box light, button for the parking assist, button for the lane departure. While you're driving, it does help you keep yourself in the lane, but it doesn't have the shoulder control check, and as well as the downhill descent feature. So downhill descent feature is really nice because sometimes you're not 100% sure how much brake you should apply as you're going down. So the brake with the engine brake works in conjunction. And the rest of the ports over here are right in front. We have the 2 USB slots, 2 regular car charging ports, as well as a regular wall plug, 115 power right over here, so you can actually charge your laptop and everything like that. Moving in here, we have 2 slots for 2 different phones. If you want to put in a bucket basically for your utilities, and as well as 2 cup holders. So lots of storage and lots of space. Speaking of storage, we also have storage over here that controls that gives us a little bit more access to, maybe you have a water bottle or something like that over here, and some more tiny books that go there. I don't know if anyone ever stores gloves in the glove compartments, because they're always filled with the manual, and I'm sure everyone can relate. When you don't have your manual, your dad gets upset, right? So don't want any of that. Speaking of a little bit more functionality, we have wireless charging over here. So you just have to put your phone over here and you're ready to do the wireless charging. We move into this, and guess what, guys? This is a whole file cabinet over here. Okay, so you can actually put your files over here. There's a clip and clip holder over here. You put your file in, you just put your stuff back in, close this, and you're good to go. None of the clutter that you are so used to in these vehicles, especially if you're working on site. So whole filing cabinet. We have the USB plugs, aux jack, as well as a light over here, guys, so you guys can actually have a functional box. And we have another charging port over here. Moving into the rear of this vehicle, you see that as I was speaking about the lining on the floor, this covers the rear as well. So the best part that I like in this, which I wish was in the older ones as well, but this is the one that has it, it covers everything. So you see from the back to where your shoes would be, it covers everything. And the seats, they no longer have to have two different tilt options. This just goes in like this. So that is very nice and very Ford-like, to be honest. Ford and Dodge, they're all doing this, and now GM has joined the squad as well. Moving into the other parts of the rear, we just have one charging port right over here. That's that. And then we have the other part of the seat, which is the singular seat, still available over there. So no entertainment system in the back. We just have the sunroof, which has been coming in these vehicles since 2002, so nothing new there. We have a little bit of LED lighting, and that's pretty much it. This one really strictly feels like a work truck. This is the worst feature of them all, guys. Look at this. This is a 2018. And it still has, and this is the Denali version. This is not a regular version. This is the Denali version, and it still has these steering wheel controls like this. What is going on? And then if you want to do telescopic, they've added it, but this is what it is. Come on, guys, this is not cool. This is the worst feature that you guys could have added or not add. You guys should have a button that moves around the steering wheel. So that is not added. So big disappointment there. Alright, so we are test driving the Sierra Denali. So this thing has a very smooth ride, that's for sure. There's some bumps on this road. Going over them very comfortably. That's the main item over here. So in regards to the power, to the gas pedal and how it feels, I must say that it feels very, very adequate, in the sense that as soon as I press the gas, you feel the power going through the whole body. So I like that. It's for a 5.3, it's not a small, it's not lacking any power. However, it would have been nice with the bigger 6.2. I believe the transmission is what's causing this one to have a little bit more power. The transmission is a 10-speed transmission in this, which you can change manually as well. You can go all the way to, it seems you can go all the way to 8-speed right now. And if I put it back to drive, it'll do its own thing automatically. But overall, this thing is a really good, smooth drive, as you would expect from a truck from this year. So in terms of the tow mode, if that makes a difference, what I have noticed is that, and this is kind of consistent across the 5.3s and the 6.2 that have come up over the last generations and this generation. One of the things that I would say is that as soon as you press the tow button, which is just right over here, you press this tow button and it turns on the tow power. And then if you're driving it, it's basically feeling like a 6.2 now. So it gives you that extra power, and you feel that extra power coming through the tires and the wheels, and it just gives you that 6.2 feel. So that's one comment about the tow mode. This thing over these bumps, as you're seeing, I'm going over them, it's pretty smooth, no uncomfort feeling. Going over this dirt road is really nice. We're in a rear residential area, but the road is pretty broken up, so it's decent terrain for me to test drive this. I can go fast as well. Like there's no delay in acceleration, that's for sure. So for any new driver, this would be also a great starting vehicle. At about $46,000, I think you're getting a heck of a bargain in terms of buying brand new, because brand new can cost you anywhere close to 80-90 grand. And I'm in Canada, so I'm talking the Canadian currency. So at this price range, you get that brand new truck feel, and you're not spending an arm and a leg to get it. It is on the higher end side, but if you were to compare this car to, let's say, a 7 Series or an S-Class at the same price range, this thing you're getting much more practicality. You know, like you can tow a trailer properly, you can haul your furniture properly, you can go off-road properly, you can go into the field if you have some field work to do properly. With the sedans, no matter how fancy they are, no matter how awesome of all-wheel drive they have, this thing in a two-wheel drive would still be better than a luxurious S-Class or a 7 Series or even a 5 Series and E-Class. So I would suggest that overall this thing is a much better buy than any of those other sedans. Of course, it depends on what you're looking for, but this thing is much better in that regard.